You just say, oh, I drop, I yes, I. On a side, don't you buy you? My get out that you try your forever. Oh, yeah, pay your play. I be on your play. Put that yourself. You put that young when you. I say, oh, by now. Do us a nene glass. Say, oh, my God. You just say, oh, just say, oh, let you just say, oh. Hey, my yourself, I'm like, you're looking. I say, oh, like you. This is a special birthday song for that dog. Jawali Jonetta Wele. We say happy birthday to you. Enjoy your new age. The graduate daughter. Not forgetting Shannon Taylor for Chicken Air. We want to remember her late daughter, Yolo Jira Wayne Taylor. Rest well. Not forgetting Brother Tony Wele Patu. Justina So in Taxi. Mother Teresa Reina So in Rhode Island. Yeah, we are trouble. Edward, your birthday, Edward Luson, I say, oh, God, you. I say, oh, what's I did now? I say, you. I do this, wow, God, you. And the Orito So in Rhode Island. I said, my, and the Helena, Poa, Rhode Island. Uncle Tommy So in Liberia. But you know, we let Uncle Stanley So. Yes, young. Says Angie in Rhode Island. Anita Zian, Minnesota. Apogitro, wow, like you. Jonetta, well, I did drop wow, or that's the boss. My person looking, my person looking, my person looking, my person looking. You just say, oh, like you. No, I beat Daniela, not run on the way. You say, get it. Have you in your draw? When I go. Alfonso So, I go like you. Many times of Mr. Alfonso So in the US. And now Alfonso So, they could be up waking. I try to say, what's your boy at York? Congratulations to that job. Jawali Jonathan. Well, it is your birthday. I just say, oh, God, you better more than you. They come run away, never. And when you are, not forgetting the cousins of the celebrant. Anita Zian in Minnesota. Direct Tabu, Minnesota. Uncle Jerry So, Rhode Island. And some important personality here, right? Not forgetting our late father, Johnny Zian So. Rest well, father. My birthday So, rest well. My next So, listen, we are in a double celebration. Congratulations. It is your graduation and your birthday as well. We say happy birthday, congratulations. Our medical director. We want to say many thanks to all of the friends who attended the occasion. Dr. Jawali, extend our thanks and appreciation to you all. We call her Dr. Jawali Jonetta Wele. Kano, what's up? In Blabo, you know. My God, my ear in Blabo. In my work, you know. And in my yo, I found the soul in my yoga. Yes, he was looking at. Purpose looking at. We are going to test it in the US. I'm going to be there. Celebration. I say, oh God, my person looking at. You just say, oh God, Dodi blabo jao, dodi blabo jao. Yanenta blabo jao. Yanenta way blabo jao gladia. Yanenta wele blabo jao dodi. Blabo jao jajo, blabo jao. Jajo club yomo. Jajo Jawali Jonathan Wele. Mr. Alfonso Sianso say congratulations to you.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you. Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Good evening, good evening. So, want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Afonso Zé, so here this evening, been off for a little while, back on the airwave. We want to welcome you. Let's say welcome to our man in Zulu Whiskey, Roland Harris White Jr. is our national correspondent based in Zouadrou. Roland, I think it's getting very interesting. 2029, Zo Penana is making a vow that the CDC to win Zouadrou. I think a lot has been unfolding. We say good evening. Melvit, good to have you. Mr. Senvit, good evening. Welcome. This is Lpr. And this is the Wednesday editions of All Things Considered. Hopefully the analysts want to be joining us here to have a conversation. Of course, you will not be left out of the conversation as well. So we will post the number where you can call to also speak your mind on what is unfolding in Liberia, what you need to know, what you want to talk about. This program is perfectly suited to give you a voice on things that we don't talk about at times here, not on purpose, but depending on the unfolding situations, and we don't talk, but we do really wish that everyone can participate in the national conversations of our country, and this is why this program is also in place, all things considered. Just in case we don't talk it during the course of the week, during our regular programs, you will have the ability from Wednesday to unpackage your own thought as to what you feel about your country. So we'll be here this evening. The Liberal and his crew, I certainly hopefully they will be here. They are the folks that are blowing the trumpet on this network. I try to set authority here and declare himself as a dictator, which is not strange. Notwithstanding, will be here to counteract, to make sure everyone voices are heard in the national conversation. I want to welcome you, Maurice Gray. Good to have you in the house. If you're here, just joining us for the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome on the roof of the Liberia Public Radio. And interesting, we're also involved in a wide range of community engagement meant to also showcase your talent, tell your narrative, and tell your story, regardless how the story might be. Whether it's a sad story, whether it's a happy story, we are there to get this going. So please, don't hesitate. If you are here in the USA, in Liberia, and in Port, let us know if you need a coverage or an event, even here, and you want it to be relayed in Liberia. The crew is there. They can go and set up and bring the virtual aspect, which most of the time we do. And one will be happening again this weekend where family members, especially where there's some sort of death, I try to bring the virtual aspect. The crew in Liberia will usually, based on the arrangement, they will set up and kind of get a television and just get everything set up and just bring you the virtual aspect as if you were in a very hall where everything is taking place. This is what we do. We love doing. So we're going to be adding the little parcel onto this. An official website is being launched where you can sell your products, you can advertise, you can make it announcements. They're all going to join in collaboration with Liberia Public Radio. There's an obituary aspect there as well. And we're going to be keeping video footage and everything there just for the unborn generation, and that you can make a reference. So we have the ability to keep good archives of you and wherever, anytime we can do that. We'll say good evening, good morning, and welcome to the show. This is All Things Considered. Light is unfolding, the drug situations and all of that. Just too much on packaging in the West African states of the Republic of Liberia and on the major news network. Also, the World Cup, man, the tournament is Ghana today destroy Panama. This pair A and give them extra. It goes to 4. And that was a huge, huge victory. Cote d'Ivoire also took a win. Yes, I believe it was yesterday. All of that happening. Is Liberia in the World Cup? I don't know. Somebody, my Ghanaian co-worker, called today to kind of like tease me. Really asking me Liberia is playing whatever country tomorrow. Well, I'm not sure what's going to be happening. But I learned that Lone Star team is here in the USA to do what I have no idea. But we want to find out. As you know, the Independence Day celebrations of the Republic of Liberia is on hand. And Liberia traditionally in the USA, within the Rhode Island, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Minnesota, Atlanta, Georgia, and the states where Liberian predominantly occupy do observe it in different forms and different shapes. We are getting a lot of news. And Friday, I'm going to be here. My niece launched her book tonight. Today is 17th. That is today. I want to get more details of that, and we're going to be having a conversation, and hopefully to make an arrangement to also have her here. Sarat is my niece. She just launched her new book today. Congratulations, and we're going to be talking about that. Having said that, I'm Alfonso Z, so stay tuned. I will be right back. Let's have these few commercial commitments, and I will be right back.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We'd like to say welcome. This is Liberia Popular Radio. We are located at the FDA Junction, Painesville, also of the nation's capital. Have you been in search of that platform to cover your wedding, loved one funerals, or political rallies? We like to say your worries are now over. Kindly contact us on these numbers appearing on your screen. Or better still, message us today on our social media platform, and we're going to be right at your doorsteps. To stay informed, kindly follow us today at Liberia Public Radio on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media platforms. My name is Tanner James Kaba. Thank you.
There you have it.
Teacher, whatever but you give him statement to make publicly because he believe in you. We will deal with you one by one. I told you yesterday, I didn't come on this platform to see you myself make plow today. We're not even talking with color speed from each other. You myself make plow today with color speed from each other. But I come on the platform here, year or so. Be here, say President Waka be dancing for you to come and ruin people's life, for you to make Liberian people but something do your lie. Include me into your lying behavior. I don't lie.
There you have it. As the liberal progressive, one of the talking heads who also support the GOL agenda on this network, always in the business to reconstruct the story, to give it a new face value. And as we hold politicians accountable, we ourselves behind the microphone must also be held accountable. And that who he is, he's doing everything possibly he can to liberalize this network, which we are standing firm and categorically to reject, because the institutions, the nomenclature of the institution should represent all demographic, all Liberians, regardless of their political affiliation, who you associate with. Everyone has the right to. But proportionally, we must give people the ability to also speak their mind as to what and how they feel about the country, the conduct of the country. That is vital. And of course, the liberal doesn't get it. He would never get it because he has his own agenda. Notwithstanding, we will continue to speak against those ill, because this is thing that we do. And he has his own group of disciples who also buys into this narrative and help to facilitate this sort of conversation. That's the liberal that who he is. He has no intentions to change his way, his style of doing things. But what we will be doing here, will always hold him accountable. He and his ally, he has code names them, so add value to what to do and to give reason why he's doing what he's doing. So I want to say good evening to welcome to Clarence Davis is in the house. That's one of the one of the allies, one of the closer allies to the Liberal. He also is in the business of supporting these ridiculous things coming out of the Liberal Progressive on this network. But notwithstanding, we love them to work hard. We'll always give them the opportunity to speak and expose themselves. Clarence, good evening. Good to have you here. Mr. William Hodges, good to have you. Good evening, good morning, depending on your location. We say welcome. You are under the roof of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. Every evening we're here to have this critical national conversation. Tonight is all things considered. Oliver, good to have you. Good evening, good afternoon. Depending on your locations, just do us a favor, just hit the share icon button and we will be able to, you can also invite someone at your company. Having said that, I will try as much as possible to open the phone lines to allow you to participate in this critical conversation. Your own thought that is unfolding, they have their own self-interpretations. Other people feel okay, too much has been done, the president has spoken, to the issues of the drugs. These were things that we talk and front against a long time. So while some of these things are happening, who is in charge and why people are not being held accountable? There should be some administrative leave on people until they can provide some explanation to the Liberian people. And, depending who you talk to and what they are side, of course, we're going to have a diverse conversations in all days here. There was some who say, well, GOL is doing, and others would say, if you have to ask edition, they will have their own interpretation with respect to what is going on. If you have to ask the supporters of the GOL, they will have their own interpretations. If you have to ask the independent, they will say that. That's how diverse and polarized our country. But that's the country that we have. And so we also need to acknowledge that and deal with those situations, have an honest conversations about them proportionally by allowing all, regardless of which side the associates, which side they find themselves, to have this conversation. But for people, the Liberal and his ally, to monopolize and to think they can be the only one to drive the talking point. Anyone who speaks against it, who says something, you consider as the enemy of the state. That is, it's just not fun. Most of the time, just turn your camera on. As soon as you get a camera on, for some reason, I'm not seeing your image to bring you in. So just allow access to your camera, to your device in order to be able to capture you. Moses, maybe you want to go off and come back. I'm not sure if you are hearing me. Moses, just go off. I'm not getting your image, so there's no way that I can bring you in. So let me just send you, let me see what I can get you back. I take you off. I'm taking you off because I cannot see it. So just come back for the second phase and we hopefully they're going to work with us. That's our security analyst. I think he's perfectly suited to have his conversations about the drug situations in the country. The security implication is much being done to him. We have the expertise, the danger that is involved. Trukon, good to have you. Good evening. Hopefully everything going great. This midweek, Wednesday evening, and we are here on LPR. We will not sensationalize any conversation here. We will speak to what we know, and we will get our own opinions and our own view is about our country. Let's take this break. I will be back. I think Moses is trying to get on, having a problem with his image. Let's see here. Okay, they are coming. Sarah Collins, Ace, our senior analyst, base in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and a strong supporter of President Joseph Nyomamboika. But he's kind of like him, he's getting to be one of the like-minded person here, which the Liberal doesn't like because Libra believes all his folks should fall within his Tabata talking point. But I think yesterday, Terry kind of like put it, now I wouldn't say surprise. He always try to, speak to say, let's take the quick commercial break and I will bring in our senior analyst, Tara Collins, and the rest of the folks here and tonight's editions of All Things Considered. I will be right back.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Just call today. Let me bring in our senior analyst based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who is also a strong supporter, but always try to speak to kind of like do the cutting edge conversation on this network. Mr. Terry Collins is standing by. Let me just bring in and we will have this. There you see here you having these rescue guys, man. They just you guys you're getting something around here.
Not a drugs money.
You're getting the real one, and not a drugs.
No, we're getting the one we work for.
You work for. I love that. Yeah, and that's everybody. We are hardworking people, and supporting people. I mean, okay, Mr. Collins, good to have you. And again, I want to say thank you for always here making the time, not just only for this network, but for the Liberian people. This is something that we choose to do out of our own volitions and sometimes put ourselves in a harm way because things we talk anger other people. They don't like it, and it doesn't get to their taste. But I think we do it, and we do it the best. And I'm sort of really, really proud because for the most part, sometimes when I travel, go other places, I hear different views. It's not just only praises. People find the conversation balanced. The only person they complain about here is the Liberal. The Liberal, even though he has his own fan. Like I was saying Fargo the other day, how you gonna be drinking the old man that is? I said, where the old man? And I just couldn't believe it. The later on you came, say, oh, you the way I know you, Mr. So. I said, yeah. I said, what happened? So I can monitor you, I can watch everybody. I say, okay, how are we doing? What about Bassa? You know, the first thing that came out of the lady, the way you treat the Liberal. What kind of puppy? Who the puppy? The puppy.
The people love the Liberal.
Yeah,
because the Liberal to bring excitement. When you know when Liberal get ready, he say, "My he not feeling your more your." For long, you're out of talk.
No, I told him I don't want to hear that. So the woman said, "Yeah, that puppy when you were small, you were high." I said. So I said, why? He said, oh, yeah, when you're talking, he said, hey, yeah, but who said that? I mean, I said, you guys. So I said, you see that? That who he is. You hear that? I can't even put that kind of hair in my mouth. But anyway, good evening. Good to have you. How are you doing today?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I will just be with you for at least 10 minutes, and then I go pick up my daughter, and I'll come and join you again.
Yeah, I mean, we know all of these things here. We have my own right now on the clock, and that's why sometimes when the time comes, we just run out. But so good to have you, and again, thank you so much for all your time, expertise, and most importantly, commit everything. In anything is commitment. That is very vital. You rather don't force to come. Yeah, you gotta go pick up daughter, but yet and stay. You stand up and you show face. And make it known you have to do that. This is hectic too. Sometimes you want to go do your little OT, but you have to be here in the evening, and all of us. So I just want to say hats up for that commitment. What's going on in your country, man?
Well, it's just the same old Sparta story, the Sparta story. But I wanted to. You were saying something about Ghana and Panama, but Ghana game is on now, and Ghana is 0-0 between Ghana and Panama. The game you were referring to is Croatia and England.
Yeah, wait a minute. Korea. Oh yeah, Ghana. Who beat who 8-0? Us
The England beat Croatia 4-2.
4-2. But there was a game that had a why 8 something. I don't know. Maybe
That 7-1. That Germany. That it wasn't game. Germany and one other African. I think some of that team from Africa also. They beat them 7-1. That's the only game that had the highest score since so far.
oh my God. So who LeBron playing in the world?
France beat Senegal yesterday 3-1.
Yeah, France. These are giant. Who LeBron playing tomorrow?
LeBron not there. LeBron playing friendly match with Beyond the Hall team. The one Beyond the Hall.
I think for Independence Day in Minnesota, right?
Yeah. I've not heard it though. Except you giving us the breaking news.
Lone Star is there, so I said that they come and do their own thing anyway. So, what's the latest? How far are we? Are we getting the information? Moses were trying to come on, but I don't know why he's something I couldn't get his image. Let me just text
Mr.
him.
Sigler needs to buy a 2017 iPhone. Mr. Sigler, you need to buy, if you're listening to me, buy a 2017 iPhone or you buy a 2017 Samsung. Then all your phone problem will cease. Or you buy yourself an Apple laptop or a laptop.
Yeah, laptop should work well. I don't know what device is it. He was here the other day. I wish I knew you were coming. I was going to tell you exactly what he bringing. Even
Mr. Sigler look like he's a liberal type. They don't like to buy. They're not involved with too much technology.
Well, and you can learn in that token. You can learn the hard way. If you not buy it, see, Dr. Jones is here. Oh, you see,
the independent voices. I know I can make it hard down to that.
Man, we're talking.
Mr. Sigbe there. Mr. Sigbe, I know you now a technology guy. You need to buy 2017 iPhone 17. Yeah.
No. It ain't got nothing to do with that. What happened is,
okay.
For some reason, the computer is something in the computer that blocked my camera and my microphone. So they tell me to follow the steps, then they take me to a different place. I ain't got time for all of that, yama.
But cause your brother says he will help you quick.
Yeah, I would do that after.
No, when you see it like that, that's sort of being redirected. Sometimes that a virus is responsible. There's some some viral device that I'm using protection for my computer, my phone.
Right.
It gave sort of maybe I think like a weekly report, what they call from a dark website. Right. Even when there was an financial issue being compromised, it will alert to you. Very good. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Good to have you here. Look, give honor to who is due, man. That man, even though he came first,
yeah, independent voices. We're really feel.
We are very pragmatic, and we are very, we do the right thing. I don't know what
You must be very, very.
I thought Keto say you guys are not independent anymore. I don't know.
Keta is not an independent. Keta is a disappointed guy. His party. He was just having a true confession. Oh, there's anything we are. They said that now you're talking there. They always like this sort of obituary conversation. When the game has ended, everybody leave the stadium. Then they go sit down.
Then they start coming small.
Comfortable. He's not independent. He's still a weird. Okay, gentlemen. Good evening. Good to have you, Dr. Malik. Good to have you, Moses. Like I said, thank you all for holding it down. I heard it last week from the passing of our brother. It was just too much. By the time you go some sort of meeting, you got to run there. So that just decided to take the break. But we want to say thank you to all of you who provided the support. Dr. Mali was there. That was great. And I believe all of you were with us in spirit. Having said that, man, what the heck is going on? Look, Moses. Terry's supposed to be running to come back here, but look, it was quite fascinating here last night, Moses. Terry humiliated his labor, and that's why I don't think he wants to show all here because I didn't even call him to his attention. Terry, the one told him, "Look, Papa, you need to stop. Enough is enough." To the extent that he went and kicked Terry behind because he didn't like what Terry was saying. As a man of God, yesterday the Holy Ghost really arrested him. You need to stop. Enough is enough. Stand for the right. People are looking up to you. So we need to give that to Terry. But I'm going to hold my breath because you never know. When labor surface, Terry will kind of like go low with everything.
A different story, huh?
But Terry, good to have you here. Before you take Eze, I know you're going to be joining us here. Any latest information? What are you hearing from your sources with respect? I don't know where we are. I don't know
what
happening.
Well, I think Mr. Sigbe will be the best person on this note because he's the security analyst and things like that. But my little 2 cents here is that, Mr. So, the drugs that are in the country, that drug, they have a lifespan. It can't, if it stay too long, it will start, the power will devalue, the power will reduce. So they have to do something about it. If actually there are big hands in it, they will have to reroute it and send it back to where it's coming from quickly enough before anybody detect. Because that drugs, when it stay too long, it will start losing power. So first of all, we need to know, where is it ready? Do we really still have it in our possession? But I think that the government need to do something about it. Otherwise, we're going to suffer. But I think Mr. Sigbe will have enough information. I will join you guys later. It's good that you guys are on. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good to have you here. All right. So here we are. This is all things considered. Maybe even both for you, Dr. Mallet, Moses here. You have other things, but that's the most trending issue, and it's alarming because it's more or less as a security implications is going to destroy our generation. Why should this kind of thing be happening first of all? And why are people really being held accountable? I noticed that the president spoke, and other people say the president spoke enough. I still strongly feel that is not enough. Enough for me, there must be some sort of action, consequences, and people must be held accountable. Moses, what are you hearing from your folks back home?
Well, I have not spoken to too many people. Everybody's mouth is shut and they're not releasing information. Information sharing is not privileged in Liberia. That's the first thing, especially when it comes from the higher up. We're just reacting mostly from what we're seeing, being reported on Facebook, social media, and, of those likes. When you have a representative, Ms. Mensah, sitting that she was there and she came up with all those information, it should raise your eyebrows. And this is not the first time we've seen a huge quantity of drugs. It's been happening for a while. And that I think there has to be some actions by the executive and the legislature. The legislatures need to start thinking about this strongly on what statutes they need to create so that we can put, at least you're not going to eliminate it, but to put a dent in this drug trafficking thing. Because my own assessment, in my own estimation, the amount of drugs that came to Liberia, that drug is not been assumed by the Zocos. The Zocos don't even have the money for that drugs. So the intention of that drug coming through and translating through Liberia to go to other places is serious security issues. Number one is that if there's a drug cartel that is, and people with security minds who've done some studies on this, as I've done, would tell you straight up that, if it came from a cartel, those people are waiting to see. And if you go into any particular group, they've already spent money on it, and they're waiting for their drugs. And if it doesn't come, then where the place that have that stop the transition of the drugs before it get to there, they'll be targeting those areas. And so now, do we have the security sophistication to really track these things. That's where it raises the whole security issue. Now, if people in Liberia are responsible for transporting that drugs and it has not been transported, they become a target in itself. Okay, and the country will become a target. So when you have people, strangers coming in and just walking around trying to observe some things that keeps us surveillance, whether it's mechanical surveillance or human surveillance or natural surveillance, it, it creates a high security threat issue in our country. So for me, the drug issue needs to be the first on the list, and I hope that President Barkai is looking at this seriously, and the powers to be, people in the judicial system, the legislative branch, all three branches need to get together and come up with reasons why they should really put a key on this drug issue. And people need to start speaking about it, especially people in leadership need to start speaking about it and saying this is, Liberia should be a non-tolerant area for drugs. But again, we just came from a civil war. A lot of the so-called child soldiers and the people in charge of the rebel faction brought in the drugs, and those young children were consuming it to go and be killed or to kill people. So they became dependent on drugs now. We can't say addiction. Addiction is one thing. Dependence is another thing, and what have you. So we need to look at that from that perspective. But however, the quantity and the quality of drugs, when we're talking about cocaine, it creates a different bar in our country.
Let me hold you there. Yeah, let me hold you. I think this tonight going to be a sort of a real engagement, and I will try to shift it here. I will divide this portion in a unique way because two professionals with two different professional background. I'm going to look at the security aspect, and Dr. Mali, he being a senior educational analyst here, I want to bring it in that context. Now, when we're talking about want to have good educational systems and seeing how fragile our society, the young generation, and having this sort of consignment drugs, not the first time we've been seeing these things being reported, and seeing how our youth today are the victims of these drugs, perhaps from the politicians who created all of these drama, and they are the direct beneficiary here. Then, Dr. Malia, it will be combined. We kind of shift it here. With this kind of new year, you as a professional to mold the minds of young generation, this is a headache. Because the young generation here, they are the demographic, they are in a good demographic. They're going to be in the user of this, and then what becomes of them?
Well, His Excellency, President Boakai once stated, I think in one of the newspaper that, are you hearing me?
We hear you loud and clear, yeah.
Yes.
That 20% of our population constitute the young people. But I think what I see right now going on, even though it's ridiculous, but it seems to be the same old talking point. I see it to be the same old talking point from one group of thoughts to another group of thoughts. You see, now if you get a very young population as such in Liberia, and at least we forget there's an origin to these drugs. The child soldiers, according to sources, started taking this drug from the wartime. And most of them, I would want to estimate that most of them have become adult right now and adolescent right now. So the practice is there. Can you just imagine a child soldier taking drugs with no formal education? All he knows to take drugs, get to the battlefield, and begin to kill people. Now the war is over, and age have catch up with them. Some of them are adult right now and adolescent. And those days, they were the king, using the gun to their advantage. Now it is critical. So the ongoing drug is not strange. It's not a strange phenomenon to most of the to most of the child soldiers who are now adults and adolescents in our society. But the question now is, CEO, is what are the strategic plans being put in place? Because if the war was addressed from the onset with the TRC being put into place, I'm very sure the issue of drugs and child soldier going to come up, and people are going to address it, and people are going to find solution to the child soldiers who were child soldiers by that time and who were youth by the time the TRC was in motion and it was being thwarted. So the question now is, this helped to undermine the educational system in the first place. Because the kids, all they know to their advantage now is, the only career they have to their advantage right now is to steal, to burglarize, to hijack. And they take this drop to what? To prepare them into this attitude. And the drug too has got its own advantage. It is a lucrative business, especially for a very poor country. You work 5 months and you don't get paid. The drugs can give you money in less than an hour that you would have worked for the rest of your life. So the question now is, why is it that we do not have strategic plan put in place that will curtail or minimize this drugs issue? We'll wait until drugs is being arrested at the airport or through one of our fragile border. Then we come out again and say, oh, the drugs is in the system. All the drugs is in the system. The question now is, what are the strategic plans as a government? What is under control? I think there where the problem is coming from. Rather than waiting when there are this sporadic event, then we say we'll all go in the air and we start picking up the same old talking point. As Mr. Sembe said, this is not the first time. We had 100,000 or 1 million or whatsoever. It came up and there was a problem again. My question now is, what are the strategic plans?
Okay.
That's the question right now.
What is the strategic plan? With that said, Alice, good evening. Beatrice, good evening to Michael. Good to have you here. You are on the roof of the Liberia Public Radio. We're discussing the way it should be, why we need to tell people what they need to know, not necessarily what you want to hear. McBarrow is joining the party. Walton Keto. Dr. Mali Keto confessed yesterday. The guy he's a reaction. I mean, he had made a position clear, but he project himself to be like us, the independent, the Moses and all of these people. But it was good yesterday. Terry distanced himself from the labor here. But good to have this conversation here. Kata, good to have you here. So before I go back to Moses here, that's a critical question you asked, Dr. Malik, the strategic plan. And that brings to mind as to whether governments that were coming into place or those who desire to be president, head of state, and all of that contesting, I don't know what was their vision. Not just only saying it, but perfecting that into action. They knew it. They know the problem. They know the country fought a deathless civil war. I'm not a friendly person or just hearing like most say we just come from out of civil war. The one civil war will be coming out of. If you take off from now to 2045, Moses and the liberal group, they will come by here. We just come in and these people doing this. I don't buy into that. You know, war has its own good and bad. And most countries develop after this sort of carnage. All right. But our own, we digressing every day. So, Dr. Mali, why national leaders, why they never had a set priority? They know these were some of the things that influenced, that caused the carnage, the destruction that we went through. And it's seeing the aftermath of that of the young generation today in the country. So why there is no really strategic plan as to how these people, their plans of integration, rehabilitation, I don't want to go back to Helen Johnson Sally, but we saw the millions of dollars that were pumped into this to prepare for this thing long ahead of time. Are we not scaring the international community to come and put fingers in our throat? Hey, we started preparing you guys long since after the early stages of the war, and we're not coming. We want to turn to be like a Colombia now. That's scary.
Yes, CEO, let me be very frank with you. You see the drug cartel?
Oh my goodness.
Setup?
What a night.
The guy come into the system, started the system, started the judicial system, and started some of the vulnerable guys who are very impoverished and see how best they can get them bit. Started your border system. You see, we have got a very weak society. All right. I was told, according to inside sources.
Does that mean it's a weak president as well?
Well, that could be another debate, probably depending on how we set the agenda. But I think it has been from one government to another government, from one government to another government. What happening in Liberia now? Liberia is not running on a normal system. Liberia is not having a normal government right now. The system is fragile, but we're pretending like the system is healthy. The system is not healthy. Since post-war Liberia, that whole system, okay, it been undermined, but we get the mindset that Liberia is okay. It's not true. So, for instance, according to inside sources, I was told, okay, by some independent sources that even the judge, the former CDC government was highly drug friendly. I don't know what evidence they were sharing with me, but I was told that government was highly drug friendly. So what is happening now? The foundation was out of bill from that time, and it's beginning to hash in this government. But the question now is what this government is doing. It's not the issue of just going to arrest drugs, bring it, make some noise around. What are the strategic plans so that even when the United Party government shall have phased out, the other government will continue? What are the plans for curtailing or minimizing this narcotic thing that entering our country?
Okay, you mentioned something here, and I know people freaking out are getting message here. People already there. I'm going to be bringing the other people. When you say this is not a normal government for the benefit.
Now I can hear the CEO.
Now we're hearing you. You're not hearing. Or I want to say you need to. That's the cricket devices. You need to find better stuff. Dr. Mali, when you say not normal, what are you talking about?
All right,
okay, let me just qualify this for the purpose of our.
I gotta go and come back.
But that is level you.
Okay.
When I said this is not a normal government,
something good.
This is a post-war government. We have just come from war. The first thing we should have done, this is why the international community gave a lot of money for the first government. All right? The first government should have carried on what I call rapid robust reform.
What's the first government you're referring to? Who and who?
It was the United Party Part 1. Now we're moving to the 2.0.
Oh.
It was the United Party Part 1 continuation now into United Part 2 under His Excellency President Boakai. So the drug issue is not by coincidence right now. It's not coincidence. We should expect that this thing will happen in a fragile society, just coming from war. Within the judiciary is okay, no. Within the security sector is fine, no. People are traumatized.
Okay, let me hold you there.
Because a lot of people are taking advantage of such fragility in the society. So it's beyond His Excellency President Boakai control.
the voices of the independent echoing this beautiful Wednesday evening right here on the Diaspora Informative News Hour. The Liberal Progressive is here. I think he's freaking out right now by visual expression. Wharton Kettle, self-proclaimed independent, but we are we need to decode some of these people in this network here. Okay, Liberal, good evening. Good to have you. Kettle, good evening. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Are you hearing me?
Oh, you're very audible. Thank you for coming here. Look, you heard Dr. Malik literally indicted your former government and also those are here. He said, hey, somebody build this foundation and another group came and edify and modify it to get into a 12-story building. So it's not a surprise. Do you agree with me?
Well, I do not agree with him per se. I agree with him when he says somebody said the egg was laid and now the egg hatched. But the real egg that was laid was never laid under the Weah administration. The egg was laid under the first Unity Party government that you spoke about administration. In the president convoy, there were drugs being brought from Sierra Leone. In the president convoy, there was $100 million drugs even being brought in under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government too. That 2 nationals were arrested. They were tried in America and they were sentenced to jail. One German, the German pilot, and a Nigerian. That was done under the first Unity Party government. So it is not strange. George Weah inherited it because the system was already set. These people saw the open border. They saw the advantage that they could use Liberia as a hub to transport drugs wherever. So they took advantage of it. Thank God the Americans were able to identify. The American intelligence informed President Weah administration that there was $100 million drugs coming in the country. And the Weah administration seized those drugs, arrested the individual, and sent them to court. There was a whole different issue about the court system, but those drugs were arrested and sent to court. Under this administration, we have seen now, under Joe Weah administration, there were no, except for the propagandists of the Unity Party, the desperate liars of Unity Party that came and told a lot of stories about President Weah bringing drugs in the country. This time around, it's not the opposition talking about it. It's the very Unity Party themselves who came out. The deputy minister, the deputy director from the LDEA came out and said, government officials, he named the 3 branches of government that are responsible for bringing drugs in the country: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. He was fired the next day. Today, we are hearing people close to the president, as close as the president relative, they are involved in this drug bust. And so it has become a national headline because the government is tight-lipped. The president talking about he would deal with anybody, there will be no sacred cow, when he knows the sacred cow is right under his arm. So he just put the word out to calm the Liberian people down, but the Liberian people are not calm because we know the drug operation in Liberia has a very bigger hand, and the president is afraid to take action because he's not in control. He only hear these things and he speak about it. And so when the so-called independent, the Dr. Jones, who is so critical, come on this platform and exclude the president from in this thing, I call it tribal or how you call it solidarity. That's what he playing around here. He's not being very logical, and for me, I cannot accept that.
Oh, this guy is he's going to be unhinged here tonight. Well, what a crowded house. We're going to keep it to make it succinct here. Look, I know you listened to the Liberal last night. Terry, thank you for what you did last night. Again, I want to re-echo that. I like to speak when the people are there. The Liberal was humiliated. Yes, I don't know whoever watched the video from last night is going to viral, and that's why everybody talking about. I received multiple calls. The Reverend Brooke rang with the Liberal last night, leaving him vulnerable, and that's why he came later. I think he's still in post-recovery process. But a Liberal, good to have you here. We the independents, we don't sanction voices, whether we agree or disagree. I'm surprised for this disappointed seditions, Wharton Kettle to attack a good doctor, independent, who always give his view, critical analysis. For he to come on here tonight to go at Dr. Mallet, that is, I mean, their reactions, that what to do. But Lebron, good to have you here. You heard Keto, you heard Dr. Mallet. By the way, are you okay?
Thank you, Mr. So. Good evening to all the panelists as well. We're here to have a conversation. I am not here for kumbaya. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be truthful. So every one of us here have the abilities, and we must, and we've always been allowed to express ourselves freely. We are entitled to our own opinion. We are not entitled to our own facts, unless you want to work for Donald Trump and you call yourself a facts and an alternative facts, which I think these two brothers are trying to put out here tonight. But we're here, Mr. So. Like I've always stated, I am here as a counterweight to this ridiculous accusation that are going around. They have no evidence, mind you. But of course, they will put it out there as though he has already been investigated, and the investigation have already concluded that in fact, certain group members of our society, members of the government were involved, and yet, and therefore they have concluded with no investigation, mind you. But we're here to remind them. We're here to remind them. It doesn't matter who you are. You come on this platform and you are unable to produce evidence. You talk about independent sources. Independent sources? And you don't even know what they're saying? You call that independent? This other guy here talking about the doctor, President Buck. They're ridiculous. But I'm not going to respond to that. I'm not going to give them legs. What I'm going to say to you, Mr. So, is this. The president of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected, he didn't come through the back door.
That's not a conversation.
Mr. So, you get the people. If you don't want me to talk that, sure, I will get out. I'm ready to leave. You can kick me out. Other than that, you have to give me the same privilege that you are provided to these two. One are called one subjective independent, and the other one are called fly by night independent. And if you get the opportunity to speak, you have to give me this opportunity as well. Let me say this, Mr. So. The president of the Republic of Liberia, he's running a country. He's not running a banana republic, a country that has a constitution that have to be followed and abide by the executive. And this president, despite all of the ridiculous statement, he respects the Constitution. He told you, the buck stopped with me. I'm not going to shield nobody. The investigation is out there, and the investigation is going to lead us to whatever the investigation is going to lead us. And whoever is found guilty, whether it be my own fingernails or whatever, we will deal with it. And these are times, did we see that the last time? No. So when you have a president that will come out and bare his soul in front of the entire country, I think we have to be grateful and respect him for that. Instead, we come out here and bring all of these who say things that will never be presented in the court of law. But of course, LPR, we allowed it because you're allowed to express yourself. But you are not entitled to your own facts. And that's what the liberal is here to do, to dismantle all of these ridiculous statements they consider to be facts. We will check them and checkmate them on this platform, Mr. So. Thank you.
Okay, James Akwe is here. Akwe, welcome. Tara is back. Moses Amigo, our man, Mustafa Sanin, good to have you. Mr. Slash, Steven is in the house. Steven says sanction is coming. I don't know who's going to be putting the sanction here. Look, Dr. Mali, you heard these guys had this song. But Moses, let me just bring you in here quickly. Now, there's a crowded house, so we'll try as much as possible to keep it strictly to the point so that everybody will have the opportunity to respond. Okay, Moses.
Yeah.
All what I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses, Labour come and talk his own tabata as usual to be the fixer, to always be the one to reconstruct the crime scene. And he want us to say, Hosanna, Hosanna. He rallied his support. So the other men from Fargo, North Dakota, these are the ally of the Liberal. You yourself, no exception. Terry broke ring with him. This is quite fascinating. I'm going to see what Terry's position is going to be like, because since then, Liberal refused to talk to him. He didn't even call him rescue to the look at the other man playing. You going now with you not play. The drugs inside the man. You guys get serious problem in our country. That the drugs are carrying the plane are carrying the drugs. No, this is a very serious thing here.
Don't mind Moses.
Yeah,
Moses, what's up, man? What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Look, I heard the Liberal president, the bus stop with me, the train stop with me, and then when we get to the station, whether we transit, we get another plane train from New York to Ireland to Boston. I'm tired and sick of hearing that. Let me create a hypothetical situation here this evening, and I want you to be bold and look in the eyes of these cameras as you're being watched and people listening. We're doing this not for ourselves, not for entertainment. The Liberal more like he's an entertainer. That's who he is. Look, the president spoke. Was that enough to me? I said no. Because before the president speak, what I'm thinking about, he was being brief and come back with something. And that was the point of Terry and myself here. But let's see whether he's going to pivot here tonight. And I'm sure he's not going to do that. He's a man of God. So then this is where we will question his whether that a real Bible he's reading. But look, on a serious note, man, how long should we go with this whole thing here? Should we be talking about this kind of thing by this time? Or well, you came to rescue us, for God's sake, and you're now killing us, you're poisoning us little by little, like people taking the people in the slaughterhouse.
Well, Mr. So, thank you, and welcome to Akwe for being on. We started this 2 days ago, and unfortunately for me, last night I couldn't get on the show. Libra, I just want to let you know, my apology for not getting on, but I was busy. Let me say this.
You didn't like how the guy was.
Listen. I haven't watched the show from last night, and I've not listened to what the His Excellency Barker has had to say in his oration. But here where I stand. For once, everyone in this panel needs to forget about politics and take the drug issue serious, as it's affecting the entire nation of Liberia. And we are Liberians, fortunately for us. And we need to speak on the issue and not make it personal and politicize it, because this is something that happened all over the world. Now, let me let you guys know, give you some history. Number one is that we have people prosecuted in the United States after the Reagan administration. Oliver North, Poindexter, and John Casey died. He was the CIA director. What was that investigation about? Swapping cocaine for weapons from the Sandinistas and bringing it and putting it in LA. These are people in leadership who did that, and they were prosecuted right after Reagan left office. Fast forward. Let's look at these issues. Some of these issues, looking at the war in Liberia and the prevalence of drugs during the war continue after the war. It's going to take the government. We keep saying the government, but I don't know if my colleagues here are referring to the judicial bench, the executive bench, and the legislative bench, and the last branch of the government. Wait.
Tell us.
The final branch of the government that is the strongest is the government of the people. Okay? So when we talk about government, all of these people are inclusive. Let's not call the government and then refer to only the executive branch. I think we're not doing justice to our country. This drug issue needs to be addressed in a holistic manner, that everyone would take
Leader charges.
Step back. Wait a minute. Everyone will step back and make sure that the investigation is fair and straightforward. My surprise is this. You got that kind of quantity of drugs. I didn't hear any press conference from the Department of Justice of the seizure of the drugs. All I've been reading is that they have people of interest, EPS officer from the airport, as persons of interest. That's not enough. That's not enough when we talk about the quantity of drugs in our country.
So do you agree with my argument, what I've been making this and denouncing?
I don't want to be, listen, I want to express my own thing because of my experience and what I know. I don't want to do kumbaya and say, yeah, you're right, and this person's right. I'm speaking from the objective perspective when it comes to security threat in our country. The Department of Justice have not had a press conference. What's wrong with that picture? The president shouldn't be speaking.
Let a liberal answer that question.
The Department of Justice and the Solicitor General, these are the people who should be coming up and informing the public, and then the public will share the sentiment or in the street to do information gathering.
Okay, quickly, let me give you the opportunity.
Let me just say this real quick, and then I'll stop.
Yeah.
Police work investigation does not complete. It's never complete without the cooperation of the general public or the branch or the communities. They are the one who get the information. They are the one you go into to get information, because police can be everywhere to police everything. And it's important for the Department of Justice to step up and make sure that they're having press conferences on these kind of major issues.
Thank you so much.
Don't wait for the president to come get up and give a speech that is written for him by people who don't have expertise in drug trafficking.
All right.
It's a shame for our country.
Thank you so much.
We need experts to do that.
Thank you so much. Legendary James Akwe, formerly of the State Broadcasting Corporation, Republic of Nigeria. Now he's abortion. Look, I'm going to put into context Moses' argument here, which he doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag. But Moses is disappointed in the liberal. Moses is disappointed in the president because the president is not taking the bull by the horn. Instead, he shifted it to the Attorney General, not having press conference, not doing this. Who should hold these people accountable? Their boss is the president of the Republic of Liberia. This is ridiculous on the part of these two gentlemen who try to do the fixer here on this network. And we'll continue
the president is not everywhere, Mr. So that's unfair when you make that comment. That's why he got lieutenants in different departments with the expertise to do those things.
Are they doing what they're supposed to do?
They're not. That's what I just said.
Then who should hold them accountable?
That's what I just said. They need to be held accountable.
Who?
By the president, obviously. That's not an argument.
So are they being held accountable?
Why are you going to ask me now? That I can't make that assertion. I can't make that assessment.
I will give you a headache on this network because you want to be the one to you want to be the one to fix things that can be fixed. Okay, look, okay, let me just bring you in here.
Let's take politics out of this. Let's take politics out of it.
Politics has to be involved because it's national issue. So politics, I forget about. But okay, let me just
when I say politics, what I mean. But that's okay. Go ahead, Mr. Sorry for the interruption.
Liberal came here and laid the foundation that CDC build a 3-story, and then it was a Liberal, and then Keta came and make it. But on a serious note, I mean, this is painful because this it has to do with the future of the country and see how the young demographic, how badly the society, and all of these people that tested they are held state power. It means there was no strategic, like Dr. Mali said, there was no contingency plan. They knew this thing was going to come. They knew how the children was badly affected during the civil crisis. Here we are, we're still talking about this thing, and we're having this sort of consignment. How worried are you, James?
Yeah, so I'm worried like any other Liberian, but I listened to my brother Samson and as well as Moses. You know, when you said, when he said, I mean, it's not enough. I don't get it because, and the presidency is the face of the country. So when you see the president coming out to speak on a particular thing, it gives it more weight. I mean, I see, I mean, a sense of more intelligence being attached. I agree with him when he said we should get politics of this thing. And, I mean, we should detach politics of the thing. I agree with that. Let's get the politics out of it. And I just hope that all our colleagues will be like us too, to eject politics out of this thing. But to say that, oh, the president is not doing this, the thing happened on June 8th. I too was one of those who was somehow pushing the government to speak out loud. To speak out loud. I mean, beginning to do some things. But the government has to get the information they need before reaching out. One, two, we should know that, I mean, this investigation is somehow different from other something. This is completely a criminal network, and we can be in a hurry business when it comes to just, I mean, disclosing things. Yeah, I think, I mean, there should be, I mean, some slow pace to it. But in the president, remarked yesterday to the nation, I love what he said. And I believe that he's going to do exactly what he said. When he said, I mean, those who seek to profit, from the suffering of the people, I mean, under the security and undermining the security of the state, and they will not find refuge in this country. I believe that because the president himself knows the level of weight on this particular thing. Like I said, Samson said it all. He said a lot of things concerning it. I wouldn't want to repeat or reiterate, my brother Samson's. I mean, so I think Moses and the like of others will see some pushes, being made. Let's be able to give the government some time. The government is not going, I mean, it may be slow somehow because we see people speculating, people want to hear this, and the president also said that people have the right to know. But he's not denying the people's right to know, to say nothing will be done or nothing will be said. So this is a president coming out to speak on a thing, on something of national concern, because this is exactly what Liberians, want to hear. And he spoke on it. And one of the things he said in his comment, bear patient. Moses, like others, bear patient. We will get there. And all of what you want to know definitely will be reached. But as we speak, investigations are ongoing, and there is gradual step. I remember years back concerning this 100 million drug boost concerning George Weah when Weah was president at the time. When it went to court, what happened? The court at the time pushed the entire thing out. What did they say? Lack of sufficient evidence. So we don't want to go to court on this one where we will not have sufficient evidence. So I want to believe this is why the president is just very careful, very mindful, along with the justice minister, in obtaining those pieces of information just before they go to court. Thank you so much.
This is so embarrassing, a disgrace. This is ridiculous, James Akwe. You hear what the liberal say. So yeah, you're here to also behave the same way the liberal is doing, because you don't want to. So, Terry, this is so disappointing, Dr. Mallet. With these people, he can, whatever we hear Moses, that's okay. They are the same people. Moses, they're gonna put you under the bar. But Terry, are you there with what? Please, listen to what James is saying. We should bear it. Bear what? You acting like a salon bobona. They pour you in a car and you're sitting over and you say, "Bo una beer." When you're dying, so that's why you're telling that we should offer beer. Doors coming. We should beer.
I mean, that patient. He used that word patient. Let's wait. Let's wait.
create message on a create message. You're dying, literally dying. You're trying to get a drink of water. You can't even get it. Say, you could be fine. Look, Terry, you go beer.
Well, Mr. Agwe have his opinion, and I respect that, but we didn't do that with the other people, the previous government. It was not done. We tore them apart. We were on the show talking about the $100 million drugs where people walk scot-free. So we got to be honest when it happened to us as well. The budget, right, that goes to the security sector, the NSA, for 2024 was 13.4 million. What were they doing? Are they not responsible to sort out these kind of things? The budget for 2025 approved budget is 16.3 million. The budget for 2026 approved budget is 22.2 million. So that is why I said when I was saying that heads need to roll, that's what I mean. Because you can't be consuming that kind of amount of money within 3 consecutive years, and you got plane or boat or canoe whatsoever, bringing that consignment of drugs in your country overnight or in a day or whatsoever, and up to now, there have been no decision taking. Nobody have been arrested. Nobody have been fired from their position. Nobody have been held responsible. Then, where are we? So I think this is a serious national security threat, and we got to be careful. I think the president put, the NSC over it, the NSC to take charge, the joint security, to carry on investigation, which is welcoming, which is a good thing. We support the president for it, but we cannot sit down and just say, okay, we will wait. Because these monies,
yeah. You carry on your point, but let me intrude here a little bit because the essence of this conversation for Paul Together. So I'm wondering, was the president brief before he mounted the podium or before he speaks to the nation? Do you think he was briefed? And if not, why?
I think the president is briefed every day. Mr. Simmons can even better. The president is briefed every day on national security issues. If I'm not mistaken, even prior to this drug thing, the president signed an agreement reinforcing the security agreement. Reactivating it.
Yeah, I'm asking how many days to date. My brother James Akwese for we should be patient. How many days? So I'm asking this question because they are very vital. They are very much important, and they are national concerns. I mean, this is the future of the country. It's literally we are talking about. So I'm wondering that the president was briefed, and if the president was briefed, what are his security team briefing? They explain the implications, all of the tough questions. Because if you were briefed and got all of the details, there should be some administrative consequences that I didn't see coming. That's what I'm pushing for.
You're not going to get it because the investigation is going to take some time. This is a huge, huge undertaking. It's not done overnight. The only thing we speak of, the Attorney General or the Department of Justice is the one that can calm the people down, let them know in the press conference, we are investigating it thoroughly. Please sit back and listen. And when we get the information, we will share with those who need to be shared with. You cannot investigate this kind of thing.
So Mr. Sim,
tell your point. My goodness.
So no, seriously. We agree, Mr. Sigbe, that preliminarily, you can come up to say something.
Exactly.
Right, but there have been no action taken by the government to ease people's tension, give them hope.
You're not on our side. We have no way to shelter you. Let Terry tonight.
I said that repeatedly.
Give the people hope that you are serious and you are going to fight this thing and get rid of it.
That's all.
Like That's why I use to sometimes, even though people say Charles Taylor was drastic, he was this, but Charles Taylor was strategic. Charles Taylor, when he speak, things happen, people move. I said, I can't talk something and then you people, then the next day people take his statement to be careless.
This?
No. If this could not have been under Charles Taylor government, even as much as Charles Taylor was a rebel leader, people say that when Charles Taylor mount the podium and speak, something move.
Come on now.
Either somebody fire or something has to happen. As a leader, you can't, that's my own contention. I know that the president got people around him that can handle the matter. Like, take for example, Kofi Wu. Apparently, the president was briefed that, oh, Mr. President, this is what is happening. And besides, everything that going on in the country, even before it happened, the president know. The president have information, and here's the danger here, Mr. So, that particular drugs fund terroristic operation. The money for that drugs. And that is why when the president came to America, he signed an agreement with Donald Trump for security purposes. Now, what Donald Trump was talking, this is one some of the reasons why Liberia was not even taken out of the list for countries that, where in the stations will be used, our station will be used for people to come to get visa and things, because we signed an agreement with the American government to, on security level.
All
So
right, thank you.
obviously, our country cannot be used as a transit point, for this kind of thing. Especially you got the UN, you on the UN non-permanent seat. You coming to take another key in international seat. Then you're talking about your country being a transit point for drugs. Then you just going to just say mere thing and nobody have been held responsible up to now. It's almost 9 days. Then you tell me, say, oh, my will, my be patient, blah. Yeah, it's fine. But who have taken the blame for what? You already claimed that you got suspects. You want them to say nobody is linked to nothing that can be fired? I don't understand it. With all the big things you got coming in your country,
Thank you so much.
what's on?
Terrorist
Thank
standing his
you.
Hold on.
Can I ask one question? Just one question.
No, you wait. You wait on your turn. Look, I know you're doing research and talking to your people, acting like you're not hearing what we are saying, but you are hearing all loud and clear. And I'm glad Terry is standing his ground this evening, as if he's now in Florida, no longer in Minnesota. Stand your ground, law. Look, I don't know why the president is not, there was similar thing like that, Samuel. When you progressive, when Samuel Doe incorporated the progressive, and he found out that the progressive agenda was more or less not moving in his direction as head of state, he immediately, without further delay, because he knows the boss stopped with him, and you guys were out. Now you guys back in the progressive and these Moja boys who long been wanting to come around state power. Here we are. James Akwe say we must be patient. And that's the same language. That's the same tone. But Terry is standing his ground tonight. Dr. Mali is standing his ground. Moses on the other side wants to be in the middle, finding accommodations. We're not going to accommodate him. He can come to you because what he's telling us as a security analyst, after 6, 7, 9 days, when the president is briefed, we are saying administratively somebody must be held accountable. That has not done. Is your position changing?
No, Mr. So, let me say this again. Though Liberia, in many people's eyes, is a small country, but we're saying and we believe that Liberia is an independent country, that Liberia has a constitution, that Liberia has an election, and the people, through the election, will speak to select the leader they want. Having said that, President Waka, who was elected to lead the country, he speaks for the country, he speaks for the people. He believes, I believe, that the Constitution is above everything else of the country. There's rules, there are laws that explain to the executive how to deal with certain issue in the country. And the fact that the president will mount the podium to address the nation, that should indicate to many of you that the president is highly taking this thing as serious as anybody else. And because of the seriousness of the nature of this process, he decided to inform the nation and to enlighten the nation as to where his government stands and what are some of the processes involved. Mind you now, eventually, whether they point a finger at Samson toe or what have you, this thing going to end up in a court of law. And we cannot and we must not operate based on emotion. The law must take its course. Whether we believe in the law of Liberia or not, it's an institution. And we must give the institution time to operate freely. Now, other like my brother Terry was saying here, you know, when the shoe gonna drop, you must take action and whatever. I agree. Action must be taken. But action must be taken follow after the process. Action comes with the process. You cannot take action when the investigation is going on. Because the drug came to Liberia, how did they get here? And therefore, anybody, the immigration, you don't do your good job, the custom, you don't do a good job because the drug in our country, how you get here, you're fired. How do we know that? Those are the processes that the president has put in place. Now, look, let's take this thing a little bit further. It is not just to investigate to find the culprit of whoever is responsible, but it's also an investigation to inform the people, to inform the security apparatus what to expect and how to do it next time. In the process of the investigation, they will do what I call lesson learned. They will come back to say, what happened here? Okay, this is something wrong. Have you had all that stuff? Then they go through their record they're going to have. Combine, present their report to the president. The president then will do the honorable thing, which I believe he will. Go to court. But in the meantime, Samson told will go into court. Mr. Soul, let me don't okay me. Samson told will go into court. However, you are suspended until further action is taken. This is the hallmark of democracy. This is the hallmark. This is the hallmark of freedom. This is the Terry. I'm not even calling you pastor. Rescue tonight. You're Terry to me. You're Terry. You and I were not going to go through this. There's no way we're going to come here and have kumbaya here tonight.
Inquiry, liberal inquiry.
What is it? What is it? Make it brief. Make it brief because I'm not.
How long it took the president to fire the LDA or to discipline the LDA, the previous guys? How long it took the president to do that?
I don't know, but here's the thing about that.
How long it took him to investigate the previous LDA or in the presence of a former Koma?
But there was an investigation. There was an investigation.
Have you heard
it?
Have you heard the investigation? Was it?
Terry, I don't know these people. They don't know me. I'm just saying. What are the processes?
I want to go to Dr. Malia Kama. Liberal, can you read this for us?
Wait.
I can't read. I don't even get my GED yet.
So, Dr. Mali.
The other person come here tonight. And instead of us to have he's now going to try to poke holes in my presentation.
Mr. So I will join you guys.
Yeah. You don't have to come back again. We'll see you later.
No. I gotta go for my wife. I just pick up my daughter. Please allow me to go for my wife.
Give you a hot tire tonight. You don't have to come back.
So, look, Dr. Mali.
this problem with the liberal here tonight. Lesson we didn't learn no lesson. We should learn so Geo go to your to do then that what he want us to do now to start learning. So how many days are we talking about today? Come on. How many
7 days? 1 week.
So you don't have a clue as to the executive or national leader? They don't have a clue as to how. So then what's the essence of all of these intel, these people that we are paying? Or the just know how to go carry market woman, better boy, and carry them at the end of it. For you liberal to come here and tell us why are you always in the business of giving these sort of excuses? It is absurd. Dr. Mali, quickly before I go to the other two gentlemen, the liberal say we should go through the lesson learning process. Our country should consistently and repeatedly be infused with drugs. That lesson we are learning. The liberal didn't tell us that we learned enough from the 90s and the aftermath of the war that people needs to be reintegrated, rehabilitated. That's not anything. The liberal tell us he's telling us he and his ally, James Acquey, the other guy from Fargo, North Dakota, from the oil field, they are telling us we must be patient. Moses, the man from the retirement home of Delaware area there, he's also a security analyst, is telling us that only the Ministry of Justice, so no one is holding the Ministry of Justice.
So don't.
You have your day. You have your day, so you have your day.
No. Don't make those allegations. That's not close to what I said.
Okay, when your term comes, you're gonna speak.
Yeah,
it's not like a liberal who don't give people chance. You're gonna have your day. Okay. The Attorney General they address it. They're having press conferences. Much is not being said. So how long? What is the grace? Is there a grace period? Are they telling us as to when we will get to know the details? Why we don't, or are we not entitled? Or that only few people need to know what is happening?
Yes. See you as I told you from my opening presentation. It is sometimes difficult to defend the indefensible. It was just yesterday when a barrage of accusation went against the former CDC government that they were mute on so many sensitive things, that they were not forthcoming on so many things, that the information ministry was a sleeping site. It was just yesterday the things were being said. Today, the table has turned. Now we have forgotten so quick that we made this statement against the former ruling government of the CDC under His Excellency President Weah.
Was Liberal on this network at the time, Dr. Mali? I'm just curious.
Liberal was alive and he was well.
I'm still alive.
And he was listening.
And I'm still well.
It was just yesterday.
What do you mean he was?
It was just yesterday.
Don't come bring the witchcraft business here. What do you mean he was? I'm still alive.
Liberal is disturbing the show tonight.
No. What I'm talking about?
What I'm seeing here,
hold on, Doctor. You heard the man. Liberal was here. He was here, and he was alive. What do you mean? I was?
I said he was here. He was alive, and he was well during the CDC time.
Are we going to allow him
any
to
accusation
massacre me? No.
I just want to
doctor to take that back.
Hold on one second.
No, are you going to allow that? Are you going to allow that?
Hold on. Realize Dr. Mali is the core of this.
It's about semantics.
Okay.
There's nothing to take back here. He was around when it happened. He stayed around. Right? So what I'm seeing here is that it was just yesterday. CDC were placed under the bus for some of these same things. Dragging 8 feet, not forthcoming, not being vigorous, information ministry not clarifying things. The justice minister was tongue-tied. It was just yesterday. Today now, there are a lot of justification. This is what I'm saying. It's difficult to defend the indefensible. What I'm saying here is that this is a challenge to the unity-led government to prove a point that it is not part, or it did not come to practice what CDC did practice in the past.
Thank you so much.
So the question now is, there's a challenge here now, and the challenge here now is, the Unity Party will have to come clean. They have to be robust. They have to come clear. They have to inform the people. We cannot repeat what CDC did as we claim in the past.
Thank you so much. Let's go for the phone line, and I'll bring in Keto and go back to Lion Ted. 45 seconds. Let's hear you quickly. What's your reaction so far?
Well, my reaction so far, actually, I came to disagree with Dr. Mali. Travel syndrome, Dr. Mali and Mr. James, sometimes when they come to the show, you should just leave CDC alone, because CDC is already exonerated. When the whole drugs, propaganda they put on CDC, and CDC was taken out. Dr. Mali, what I try to differ with you on, this drugs business started a long time when you muted by the previous government. During the time Waka had a 66 bogus concessions, one of the concessions that took away our national put. The drugs now came from through no borders. The drugs were coming through ship without put. That put was given to some unknown business, rich people, men, and we people don't even know them. And that drugs been
something in the background. Hold on 1 second. I hear something playing in the background.
Yeah, there's radio in the background.
Yeah,
the person speaking.
I don't know. Okay, Lion, carry on. 30 seconds, please. We're almost running out of time.
Joseph Boaga himself, when he was vice president, since the time they took our national port was taken away from us, that's the time the cartel or the mafia have taken over Liberia. Drugs have been entering that country even during the time President Weah was in power. Had no control about that. That national port of authority. Now Boaga has become president. He sent his own man. Authority of that port issues. That's the time the mafia have taken over that whole drugs business, and the cartel have been taking drugs into that country because they have control of your national port.
Thank you so much.
There are two different groups. The other group, Boaga King, they attacked that group, that Nigerian guy who was busted.
Thank you so much. We're out of time. Let's take another person here. Let me guess. Another so-called rescue uncle here is calling in. Clarence Davis is our regular listener. Clarence, your Lpr and his folks there are in trouble here today. Good evening. Let's hear you.
See you. Good evening, and both here. Good evening. So, the both here, being saying the truth from yesterday or to today. Sometimes we can look at the data pill. To solve it, it can sometimes be difficult. But the fact that the matter those have been accused or those whose finger have been pointed at, you will not just get there and just grab them and put them in jail. There's a process, there's an issue that will go through court process. And besides, the greatest country in the world, the embassy, let's go to the U.S. embassy West Side in Monrovia. They praise the DK and they praise the Liberia government for collaboration. So are we saying that the greater country, even they are saying that 200 people are resigning in America here. You want to tell me that their country will see all of their equity and start praising the government? But be fair to our country. Nobody supporting whosoever is getting that have linked with the drug issue for order to sit down here and say that the government fire. Who are you going to dismiss? If you're somebody being called right now, you got to carry that person to the court and the court got to find that person guilty. So should we say suspect should be able to get even based somebody accused, the person should go inside dismissing people? He can the person go to court and be free tomorrow. There was a similar thing that happened during the past government. When our drug were arrested in the country, instead of them going through the proper channels, they never did it get allowed. They set the entire group free and they end up giving their money. We are not only fighting for those that have been apprehended, but we are looking at destroying the cartel route. This will be a major concern. Thank you for the show, CEO.
Thank you so much. What on Keto, let's hear you quickly, then we gotta go to Ty, Mr. Ty, we gotta go to Moses and Akwe. Keto, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Let's hear you.
I think Teddy Lyon misunderstood the Dr. Jones. So I think Dr. Jones just exonerated the former administration. I mean, what he said was accurate. That people perception, the lies that people told on the former administration concerning drugs, that brought the administration down. Today, it is the same thing this administration is faced with. Unfortunately, they cannot resolve it. They are not forthcoming. They are not giving the people information. And it's sad because you people push this stuff about the drugs in the past administration. You made it seem like they were manufacturing drugs in Liberia, or the former government, where the one was the one that were making the drugs or bringing the drugs in the country. And it was bad for our society. Today, similar things happening in this administration, and people are holding tightly and say we should wait for investigation. I think our Dr. Martin were pushing out there. And I think it's fair. Now, politics aside, I said on this platform before, we should not take this drug issue lightly. If we take it lightly, it may bite us in the future. Seriously. Because these people that we are dealing with, they have money, they have connection, they have ways to truncate your government, your security apparatus, your judiciary, your legislature, the executive. They got ways they can do it. We are living in a poverty-stricken environment where people cannot even afford a square meal a day. And so if you have these people coming in and supplying, not to even distribute junk in the society, but making our society a transfer or a transit point, it will be dangerous for our society, and we should take it very serious. I think the president now, head should be rolling by now because he got information. The information, the same information we got. And when the first time we heard anything we put out there from people who have been talking about it, it's the same information the government has. What are they waiting for? What the government is waiting for? Bring these people, start investigating them. You don't have to tell the Liberian people everything. We got key people that we're looking at, we're investigating, and the investigation is going on, and we'll bring the perpetrator to justice. There will be no sacred cow. As far as we're concerned, there has been some breach in the executive. We must nail it, and we are serious about it. Let the president show for once that he stands for what the people say he is. A man who is transparent, a man who has the ability not to be corrupt, and the vigor against fighting crimes. And another stand. Let him stand for that. Unfortunately, we're not seeing it. Because this is not the first time we have seen presidents say we will take action and there's no action. We are just seeing witch hunt all around the place. But when we come to seriousness like this, everything is like we gotta wait for investigation. I'm sorry, gentlemen. The buck stopped with the president. He must take action and take it like yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Stone.
Thank you for your courage tonight here, because your seditions, one people call George, we are named, and everybody blood boys like something. But it was good that you called Tail Lion, because I don't think that's what Dr. Mali was saying. Okay, Moses, let's hear you. Can you unmute your mic?
Thank you, CEO. First, let me respond to something that Terry said about Charles Taylor. And I have no peace in my heart for Charles Taylor to have some empathy with him. If he did not start the war, we would not have been in the position we're in today. So for Terry to sit here and say that when Charles Taylor said things, he meant it, and he was strong in doing what he had to do, it's just mind-boggling for me. We're quick to forget, we as Liberians. Now, I have a report here from the UN 2011, precisely talking about the drugs issue in Liberia and how Liberia was becoming a trend, a transnational drug trafficking organizational crime in Liberia. And that's what was going on. The cannabis that they were creating were not only used for consumption, but used for exporting. And we know that right after the Civil War, Liberia was in a vulnerable stage to the point that everyone targeted Liberia as a place for drug trafficking. And it's the UN report. So what the UN did in 2011, they established the WACI, okay, the West African Coast Initiative. They also established the Transnational Crime Unit, which is the TCU. They also established the Institute for Development and Security for Liberia. And these are things that they were trying to put in place. One of the other groups they were looking at is the DEA. They tried to support the DEA. They were looking to have international community support Liberia on the whole issue of drug trafficking. So this thing hasn't been going. It just didn't start yesterday. We know that, and in adjudication processes, they'll tell you when the body falls, from the time the body falls to the time you reach adjudication, it can take you up to 2 years. So we need to not say. My only thing that I said earlier is that the justice minister, and what people do when they come with these press releases or these press conferences, and that the judge security, the justice minister, the police, the DEA, what you call it, customs, NSA. These people should have. They come in and they talk to the nation. That's the press conference. You see that in developed country. Whenever there's a crime of this magnitude, you got people that come up to keep the community down, abreast of what's going on. They're not giving you information, but they're telling you, say, we're on top of this. Please relax and make sure that we will let you know what's going on with this investigation. None of that have happened. And that's my problem. People go and do press conferences where that's not even under their jurisdiction in Liberia. They're having press conferences every day. When these major things happen, everybody draws away from it, and no one wants to say something because I'm not sure if they're compromised or what's going on. And that's what I'm talking about. So the justice minister supposed to lead the joint security and have a press conference, just letting the people know we're on top of this. And at some point, we will share the information, and everybody who involved with it will be brought to justice. That's all you had to say. But to sit supinely and don't say anything, that's why we're having these conversations. And that's the point I was trying to make. And so the drug issue is not today's issue. It's not yesterday. It's been going on forever. And until we put until we put the mechanism in place, we need to make sure that we have all hands on deck. We'll take a holistic approach of all sector of security, and that it has to be supported by the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and the executive branch. We need to make sure to put those things in place so that we can be effective in trying to minimize drug trafficking or just eradicate it, which could be a difficult thing. I don't care how great the country is, you still have a drug issue. And not to mention, Liberia not even having, you have the poverty level is 98%. These people got to survive in any way. You get somebody $1,000 and bring 10 tons of cocaine, they'll take the $1,000 and run with it because of poverty. These are things that people preying on. And we need to begin to address those issues. It's not a one-day thing that can address the drug issue. We need to really have strong security intact, people with experiences going in there and really working with law enforcement.
Moses. All right. Akwe, to make a point, and we will be wrapping up here. Please, 2 minutes, and I'm going to be going back to people for their meeting. Came on late. We already over the time. Let's hear you.
Yes. So again, we see that, I mean, the president has spoken, and I love what he said when he said Liberia is open for business, but not for the business of doing drugs. Liberia is open for business. and not for the business of doing drugs. It sends out a message to anyone there to say, hey, we need to be careful here. He sent out another message. We will not only identify these cartel, we work to destroy them, to damage them. As we speak, we're hearing about, this Dutch guy, fugitive, very notorious in drug trafficking, who has been spending time there in Sierra Leone. You see, different information come here. So this is where we come in to say, look, it happened yesterday with the CDC government, and people say we beat on them. Yes, we beat on them. But who knows, probably the way we beat on them and the step they took, because of the limited information probably they have, they want to code and nothing really happened. People say President Barker should start dismissing people. On what basis now? You say investigation ongoing. So the president will just get it and just dismiss people without getting the necessary information? Of course he's going to do that when the time is ripe and when he has that information. Look, I point it out to Keto, Moses, and others when they said, let's get politics out of this thing. But there is the 10 and 15% who is attaching, there's a small percentage of people, 10, 15% of them, who are attaching serious politics to this thing, especially looking at 2029. And we need to stop that. Probably they may not have anything to say. Oh, they wouldn't think now we can beat them all, we can hold them by the drugs, something. We can score political points and score, a huge mark on them. We'll not be doing well for our country. We'll begin to engage into, those kind of thought. Let's wait on the investigation. Let's be patient. The necessary things will be done. And President Bouakai, trust me, he's going to take the actions and here we rolls if the need be, once he has the information. Thank you so much.
Since you are in motion already, 1 minute for your closing, and then I will go. Yeah, and let's do it strictly 1 minute. So we gotta go.
Yeah, so fellow Liberians, let's look up to the leadership of the country. And like I said earlier, the presidency is the face of the country. We come from Africa. When the president speaks, it speaks volume. It takes weight. Say, oh, the president spoke about it yesterday. People see the president say, what? The presidency is like a loaded gun, very important. You struck, and that's it. And I know the actions that people want this president to take, he's going to take the necessary actions once he has those information. You really think that we want to run to court, taking people to court, and we don't win the case on the basis of limited or no information? No, we don't want to do that. If we continue to do the same thing and making the same mistake, of course, we will not be moving anywhere. Thank you so much.
All right, let me turn my way to Delaware. Let's see where we are. Moses is our security analyst. Let's hear you, Moses.
Yeah. In closing, I just want to say we need to give it time. The security apparatus need to get together in investigating this whole drug issue, and it's a serious threat to our national security. They need to get serious about investigating this and coming up with some kind of result so that they would know how to prevent these things from happening. Our borders are vulnerable. They're very much vulnerable. The other day I mentioned the agreement with the UN and the military of Liberia, where they were looking at trafficking on our oceans, on our waters. And that was great, and I praise them for that. So we need to continue to advocate with the diaspora to see how we can get help for our country. We need a lot of help in our country, except that the folks there are not open to us to really help the country and see the little thing that we can project or give to our nation. The other thing, when I saw this guy called Patrick Kamazu. I don't know who he is, but he was in Grand Judah with his gun and walking in the street, like, and he from the DA. And I couldn't believe that people videotaping and said he was in town and all the way in Grand Judah when the thing is right there at the airport. Okay, $19 million drug coming out of the airport. You all the way in Grand Judah walking like you're king of the town with a weapon and that is open, and you walking like you're in charge of the whole town and some part of Grand Judah. We can't begin. Those are the things that really are counter productive in our country, and people always want to, do things by having some kind of morale and stuff like that. We need to
Thank you so much.
do our job according to what the job description is.
Thank
Thank you. We'll be back, and there are a lot of things we want to talk about, but we couldn't talk about it tonight.
Yeah. So, look, Dr. Mali, there's a reason that I reserve you, because I knew exactly these two gentlemen where they're going to be going, taking at the Grand Judah to look at two people dead. So we're talking about this unfolding situation, what is happening. You other man from Fargo, North Dakota is telling them to be patient for BIA. For BIA. The country is dying. The country is dying. We should bear it. Oh, wait, the sedition Keto still here? I can't let Keto to speak. Let Keto, Dr. Mali, let me please, I know I keep in with your time. Let me hear from the reaction, the reaction version. Keto.
Thank you so much. Look, I'd just like to make one correction to the security analyst. Grand Judah is a part of Liberia that has been affected with drugs. So people, I mean, just not only Morovia, everywhere in the country, drug is like messing our people up. So when you see these people, they are trying to boost the morale of the drug agency or whatever so that they can fight. Because I saw a couple of videos from that place that people was selling drugs all in the butchers, and our local people was getting so affected, and at the end of the day, people die. So they have to do that in Grand Judah. So we can be doing everything simultaneously in the country to fight the battle. I mean, the big guns. They don't export drugs from Grand Judah to the rest of the world. They use the port of Monrovia, whether the free port or the airport. They use those places to ship drug outside the country. And what we say here is, if these people get hold of the system in our capital, and those people drugs are missing or something goes wrong, like such what is happening right now, these people have a way to organize crime in our society that will strangulate our system, our judiciary system, our legislative system, and the executive system. Meaning, they don't even have to use money to influence them. They could just kidnap some of their family members and say, if this does not pass, we will slaughter you. And definitely they will start slaughtering people. And it will bring more security risk to our society, because if you catch a president relative and killing and dismantle his body, they will not easily what drugs later. They will say somebody trying to get rid of the president. And who knows? It could bring a havoc in the society between political rivals and stuff like that. So we must open our eyes to these things and depoliticize it and look at it for what it is. We must fight it and fight it with every strength in our body.
Thank
The
you so much.
president should not sue anybody with anything that is going on. At this point, he should be investigating his inner house. What is happening with the names that are coming up from why these people's names are involved. They should go on an investigation instead of just talking. We don't want talk. We want action now. Thank you, Mr. So beautiful show.
Thank you so much. Dr. Mali, put it into context. All of these people so tap talking. Yeah, put it into context. And I know the liberal one or something, but once you speak, the liberal is trying to find his talking point. So I want to give him the opportunity. If folks are texting him, sending him message, was to say he's the Michael Cohen of the LPR. Let's hear you. Unmute yourself, Dr. Mali. Or the liberal messing with your system, right?
Yeah. No problem.
we got it now.
We'll remain peaceful.
Yeah.
Like what Keto just said, the dangerous part of this whole drama that is going on now is the drugs is penetrating the Leeward counties. It moving into towns and villages. That's the most serious part, right?
I would have been there.
And the issue here now is this. coming to give speeches, I don't know what is timely right now. I think what is timely right now is, first of all, coming to give speeches. I don't know what is. Hello?
Yeah, we're getting the echo, but go ahead. I think you're good now.
Oh, okay. So I still emphasize or keep emphasizing on the issue of strategic plan of action. You see, the drug law, they know what's happening around the world. Like, for instance, can we as a government put in place a comprehensive legal framework or legal objective here? Like, for instance, a framework will contain addressing capital punishment for drug law. Can we put into this framework where it becomes non-bearable no matter what? Can we put into the framework as part of the strategic plan that these people are arrested and they be investigated under security surveillance for 365 days before their first court appearance? Can we put these things into, can it be part and parcel of our strategic plan? Can the government officials, the house of legislature, the judiciary, can they undergo by monthly drug testing to find out who brother get blood and they drugs in their system?
But quickly, Dr. Marley, let's put it in the context. People were showing their shoulder. They were tested before. We don't know how many. All the tests that were administered from the higher up to the lower, we didn't know who was who needed help, but people were tested. So what becomes of it?
Can we make it part of the framework where when a minister is found guilty and we notice that they drugs into their bloodstream, I mean, they be arrested, processed, and go to jail from 6 to 1 year, and they be banned from taking office for the next 10 to 15 years in our country? Can we be practical about this? The answer is no. So this drugs issue has come to stay. Just take my word tonight. Nobody is going to go to jail for the drug issue. Believe it or not. Because in the first place, the judiciary, according to the State Department, needs reform. It's corrupt. It needs reform. It's not the normal judiciary we had before. So this issue is a foregone conclusion. Nothing is going to come out of this thing. And lastly, I keep hearing that we should depoliticize. This is a high-profile issue. Even the statement that was made by His Excellency, those are political statements. Those are not economic statements. Those are not social statements. Those are political statements. Because why? The executive branch of government always set the tone, always set the agenda for the society. The judiciary can go and bear rule. They can go and bring about electricity. The house of the lawmaker, they can go bear rule or bring about electricity. So the executive always set the tone of the society, and the rest of them contribute.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure whether the laborer has a closing remark because time has caught up with us.
Thank you, Mr. So. What I'm going to say here is strictly this. Here is what I want people to concentrate on as I leave tonight. It is not about the money and those who are in violation of our sovereignty. It is about the people. You know, Mr. So, one of the things that attracted me to then Ambassador Bakai is that I just have a strong feeling at the time that he's a very, very intelligent man, very smart. And that smartness is being applied here again, just like it did with the Guinea border issue. The president is taking this stand, not necessarily to arrest, those who are going to be found guilty and charged and what have you, but strictly to say to Liberia and the future of the country that this drug issue must be addressed and addressed effectively. Because President Baka has a clear understanding that we just had a civil war, and those young people that fought the civil war are now men and women today. They don't have jobs. They are there in Liberia. They can easily be influenced by this pandemic. And President Baka is looking at this from that perspective. And because of those type of challenges that he has identified, rushing into judgment will be unacceptable. And because of not rushing to judgment, because there are so many areas involved, not just people selling and taking drugs to Europe, but he's thinking about the future generation of the country. Because if we're not careful, if the cartel were able to identify the old fighters who are in themselves don't have jobs right now, the cartel can say, we give you money, protect our interest. Then what? Is the army of the Liberia or the police going to fight another Liberians? So President Baka is looking at it from a holistic position. And let us give him some latitude, please. Let's let the man we elected him, let's allow him to do his work. Being this type of slow going does not make him a weak president. Being this type of someone who is logically involved does not make him a weak president. So I will say to you, Mr. So, this president is seeking the interest of the future of the Republic of Liberia. We know this, we believe this, and we know it to be truth. Thank you, and it's a wonderful show.
You saved that summer for your show?
So,
thank you, my guys.
on the flip side of things, tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing flipping. Tomorrow.
On the flip side of things, tomorrow the Deputy Speaker Thomas Falad is going to be with us here in Fargo and North Dakota, along with other lawmakers from Lofa County, and also yet in Lofa. I mean, also from Lofa, you have Augustine Chiwolo. Augustine Chiwolo is from District 5. He's going to be with us in Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow, along with Momo Siapapoto of the CDC. They will all be in Fargo, North Dakota tomorrow. I guess we're going to have the time and to see how well Alfonso To can be able to squeeze and all of them maybe on the show, have an interview. And yes, and don't forget, I mean, they are coming for the Lofa County Convention out here. And again, I was just told, Mr. So, this one is for you, by the chair lady of the Lofa County Convention that you are welcome. And Lydian Boyman is inviting every one of you. Is going to be super heavy out here in Fargo. So yes, I mean, wherever you are, maybe whatever state, make it out there in Fargo and let's make it balling, man. Yeah, have a wonderful time and I love you all.
No, the town are wonderful. the chair is I'm a woman allowed to go, right?
No, no. The chairleader, I mean, is just pulling it out to you. And, you know, beautiful Miss Lydian Boyman. No, and trust me, I guess we are going to maybe have an interview. I mean, like in the words of the president also of the Lofa County Convention here. I mean, and all of those who here. I mean, please join us and let's make it heavy. Yeah.
So I'm going to send you a bill. You get monetary T5, T10, and you there. All the Lofa in the government. Yeah. So
they're coming tomorrow. He'll be here tomorrow.
So this announcement that is being read publicly here, you are responsible to shoulder the cost. I will send that to you right after this. The invoice, the invoice will be generated, and then you can send it to the chairlady that you made there. Sonny, the way they cheap, we ask them to Sonny. They want you want to consider you can't tell your Tabata T5, T10. Who cares? Look, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Cut out the Liberal Progressive. Thank you. By God's willing, we're gonna be back here. And I will be back here tomorrow. Interestingly, I want to join the Liberal, and that will be fascinating.
No, we have. If we don't invite you, you're not coming. Good night.
Labor be nice. Labor be nice. Labor be nice.
You're good night. Well, folks, this is the first time to visit man here.
No, Alfonso, I don't think you'll be invited on tomorrow's show. I don't think you'll be invited on tomorrow's show.
I mean, I meant to my father, man, I appear on the show. You will grade him.
No, but man, Alfonso will not be welcome on the show here tomorrow. The Alfonso so here.
You guys better people, eh? Tell all my bad patient we must smoke the weed, smoke the grass, and we must patient go for beer. Come on.
I want a portion of patient. We got time for patient.
Power or something, you. All right. No, I will talk to you. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can arrange something with the deputy speaker. So we know.
Yeah, but man, and trust me, a cow has been killed already. Yeah, a cow has been killed out here. I mean, we're talking about something good. And trust me, I will squeeze it through to see how well something can be done, like an interview or so with the deputy speaker before he leaves.
Can I ask
can I ask you a question? I think he's maybe like on Sunday or Monday. Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? Is Thomas Falasty or T5?
Let's be concerned about the Nova County Convention. I mean, during this weekend.
Is he still a T5? Is he still a T5? TV5? If he's still a T5?
PDC, why you can't do T10 for Unity Party? You're good. You're a simple get problem. Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, folks, that does it this evening. I want to thank you so much for sharing your evening, your time with us. This is the first time. This is Lpr. And Mr. Slangart, good to have you. Good evening. Hope everything is going well. That does it. And by God's willing, join the Liberal Progressive tomorrow. Conversation with Sam Center. And of course, Friday, I will be back here with another editions with more program. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening and bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.